Next at 7, honoring the 8 people lost in the Ocala bus crash. The group offering a helping hand to the families of the victims. Plus, a couple's mission to provide hope and healing for others after going through the grief of losing their son. Coming up.
Tonight's primetime lineup on WESH 2 is sponsored by your local Toyota dealers. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places.
Tonight at 7, a vigil is being held honoring the 8 people killed in a horrific bus crash in Ocala. The driver accused of crashing into the bus making his first court appearance.
Can you state your name, please?
Brian Howard.
As the state continues building its case, we take a deeper dive into the trucking company involved and the safety of the migrant worker program.
And another deadly crash is under investigation in Altamont Springs. A 17-year-old involved in hitting and dragging a worker at an apartment complex.
Local, live, late-breaking. WESH 2 News starts now.
Tonight, the driver of the pickup truck that crashed into a bus on State Road 40 is already facing consequences, and right now, a vigil is being held to honor the 8 people killed.
Brian Howard is now behind bars for DUI manslaughter after telling deputies that he smoked before getting behind the wheel. As WESH 2 Spencer Tracy tells us, Howard appeared in court today. Happening right now in Apopka, the Farm Worker Association of Florida is holding a vigil to remember the 8 lives lost in this crash.
WESH 2's Paola Tristan Arruda is live there now where those workers are being honored. Paola.
Yeah, Michelle, we just had a pastor behind me who was praying. People were singing, and there were also candles being lit. And we know that these were migrant workers who came here from Mexico on a visa. Now, typically with this, they are usually hired by a company or a contractor. They stay here for several months, and then they go back home to their families. Now, tonight, we remember the lives of the 8 workers who were killed, and we've learned the names of 6 of them. So they are Everardo Hernandez, Christian Villeda, Alfredo Sanchez, Isaias Pascal, Jose Acosta, and Manuel Rio. Many of them were young men. According to the Mexican consulate of Orlando, the youngest person was just 18 years old. The Farm Worker Association of Florida tells me that farm workers already have difficult working conditions as it is, and to see this happen is a tragedy. They have been assisting and helping the community during this time and providing health care and legal assistance, but they said holding this vigil was needed.
We feel it's important to also honor their spirits, honor their lives lost, and just hold a space here at our community center so that people can do just that.
And we will have more from this vigil coming up just a little bit later tonight. The Farm Worker Association also has a GoFundMe link. We have that link on our website, wesh.com. For now, we're live in Apopka. Paola Tristan, WESH 2 News.
All right, thank you, Paola. Meanwhile, tonight we're also hearing from the Mexican consulate after yesterday's crash. They've been contacting all of the victims' families in Mexico, letting them know what happened. The consulate is also working to support everybody involved and their families, including with health and legal support. The consulate of Mexico says that they were all migrant workers with H-2A visas. In order to get that visa, you cannot have a criminal record. It also means that they are here working alone without their families.
These are good people, pleasing good people. They are families, very poor families, but very good people making good things. Their job was produce food.
The consulate says their next step is to support the families in Mexico who want to come here to identify their loved ones. And Cannon Farm says it will reopen tomorrow back to regular business hours.
It remained closed for the second day this morning out of respect to the victims. The suspect, Brian Howard, has been in trouble with the law for more than 2 decades. Most crimes related to crashes and other traffic offenses. According to public records, Howard lives with his parents in Dunellen. His neighbors say the crash is heartbreaking.
Oh, it's terrible. Just to think about, what had happened. 8 people had died. A lot of lives are ruined right now. The hardworking people.
Cannon Farm shared a fundraiser that's organized by the Farm Worker Association of Florida. It's where people can donate to help the victims and their families.
And we're taking a deeper look into the company that was hauling the workers killed and injured in the bus crash.
Tonight, WESH 2 investigative reporter Greg Fox looks into the company and safety surrounding the migrant worker program.
Well, One of the many organizations stepping up to help during this tragedy is Mothers Against Drunk Driving. They are making sure the families of the victims and survivors get the help that they need to get through this difficult time.
We offer court accompaniment, basically, so we ensure that we have advocates on hand that will attend court with the victims and survivors to help explain that process, to be that kind of shoulder to be supportive of, and to just be present with them to offer any explanations and guidance and support, as well as victim vigils.
MAD's helpline is open 24 hours a day to serve victims in crashes like the one we saw in Ocala. You can call 877-275-6233. Spanish speakers are available. And we are still learning new details about this devastating crash. To get the latest information as soon as it comes out, download the WESH 2 News app, and we will send you push alerts like this one as soon as we learn new information. We are following some breaking news right now. 2 people are safe after they were carjacked in Orange County. Chopper 2 was over Orange Blossom Trail and All-American Boulevard this afternoon. Deputies were called around 4:20 after someone reported a carjacking with 2 people in the car. Deputies arrested 3 people. They say the 2 victims were not hurt.
A man working at a Seminole County apartment complex was hit and killed last night while simply doing his job. State troopers say a little before 9:30, the 57-year-old was picking up garbage bags, part of the trash valet service. A 17-year-old driving an SUV through the parking lot hit the man and his truck. Troopers say the teen did not realize what had really happened until he parked a few moments later.
The pedestrian was dragged under this vehicle until the vehicle, was now parked, and then that's when he realized what had happened.
Troopers say driving in parking lots requires an extra layer of attention with so many people potentially on foot. One person was hurt after a crash involving a charter bus this afternoon. Chopper 2 is over that scene on the exit ramp to Epcot Center Drive. FHP says the driver of a Nissan Altima collided with the rear of the bus. 11 people on that bus, but no one was hurt. The crash remains under investigation.
A judge has ruled that a fight over who should pay the legal fees of a Stoneman Douglas deputy should go to civil court. The Broward Sheriff's deputy was found not guilty of all charges following his actions during the 2018 mass murder at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. So now he's demanding that the sheriff's office pay nearly $250,000 that he owes his lawyers. The judge said criminal court is not the right place to settle the deputy's demands. Today, Florida Tax Watch released a list of 450 extra items in the recently passed state budget. The Tallahassee-based fiscal watchdog group is raising concerns over more than $850 million in appropriations that were included in the more than $117 billion budget. They're also highlighting individual projects requested by lawmakers for their home districts that total nearly $3 billion. Tax Watch Executive Vice President Jeff Kottkamp says that his group bases its analysis on how spending projects end up in the budget, often as part of last-minute, behind-the-scenes negotiations.
Because money appropriated by the legislature belongs to the taxpayers of Florida, the budget process must be transparent and accountable.
The 2024 budget has not yet officially been sent to the governor for his signature. The next fiscal year begins July 1st.
NASA is honoring those who report on the stories of space exploration.
Still ahead tonight, the special recognition these honorees received, including someone many of you know very well.
Plus, keeping a legacy alive for a Daytona Beach man who ended his life after battling a severe mental illness.
You never know who Jay is going to touch or who he is going to continue helping, even though Jay left us.
How SMA Healthcare Foundation is challenging Central Florida to find out who is Jay.
And right now, showers and storms are departing off towards the south, still the front to the north and west. We could still see a few more evening showers develop. I'll talk more about that straight ahead.
I might be a new face to WESH 2 News, but I'm not new to Central Florida. This is home for me, and it's pretty good to be back.
It's great to have Jesse here. Adding another local voice makes an impact on how we tell your stories.
He knows the people, he knows the places, he has connections.
He brings a new perspective to storytelling and, of course, breaking news.
And we're excited to have him as part of our team.
I'm Jesse Pagan, and it's good to be home.
Weekdays at 4, 5, and 10 p.m. on WESH 2 News.
Closed captioning is sponsored by Shark Coatings.
A Central Florida couple found hope and healing through their grief with the help of the Volusia County Foundation. Hank and Susan Ashby started Jay's Hope Fund after their son Jay died by suicide in 2010.
WESH 2's Christina Watkins tells us why SMA Healthcare got behind the couple's mission and the educational tools they're providing to hundreds of people. And one of the speakers at today's symposium was WESH 2's Christina Watkins. She talked about the different resources that helped her sister who lived with bipolar disorder and schizophrenia, and how her family learned about mental wellness through her sister's journey. Christina serves on the board for NAMI Greater Orlando.
All week long, we will bring you these important stories about mental health awareness and ways to get help. Coming up on Friday, we are giving you a chance to ask questions. We'll have experts here in our studios who will take your calls surrounding everything about mental health and wellness, from recognizing symptoms to paying for your treatment.
All right, such a good effort. All right, Tony, we need to talk about our forecast. Things are finally calmer around here. Feels good outside.
Yeah, you know, we still have the front off to the northwest, so we might still be able to develop a couple of showers, but nothing like the last couple of mornings, guys. Let me take you back outside right now. I want to show you what it looks like up towards Daytona Beach. You can see it's a lovely evening after the storms have moved on through. The temperatures outside right now settling back into that 80 to 85 degree range. 84 Titusville, 81 Daytona Beach, and 80 over towards Wildwood. Water vapor channel shows what's going on. Deeper energy now dropping off towards the south. Notice these little jet streaks here. These are complexes of thunderstorms rotating around the base of that area of low pressure through the Tennessee Valley. With the front still off to the west, it's still quite humid out there, so there is enough moisture in play to potentially regenerate a couple more showers, but thankfully for now, no lightning strikes out there, and the rain that was coming through Brevard County has moved offshore. But earlier today in southern Brevard County, we had ping-pong-sized hail today in and around the city of Mico. So again, just a testament of the type of environment we've been here the last couple of days. Wind gusts today not as high as we've seen the last couple of events. DeLand 35, Winter Haven coming in at about 41. Rainfall pretty good today. West DeLand, Eustis, Paisley, and Altoona anywhere from 2 to 2.58 inches of rain. Futurecast shows this evening the heaviest storms down to the south. Notice the redevelopment here as it drops off towards the south. There could be a few showers here scraping the coast as we go through the overnight time frame, but as we get you into tomorrow, most of the activity is going to be across South Florida. So 7, 10, 1, 4, and 7 dry here. Maybe a couple of showers just east of downtown Orlando. Temperatures north and west by daybreak dropping back into the mid and the upper 60s, whereas in town, south and east, we're running 70 to about 73 degrees. 12-hour forecast now up towards beautiful Flagler Beach. Afternoon highs here holding in the middle to the upper 80s. Front drops on in as we head into Thursday and Friday. That's why we have that more comfortable air, but it's still going to be quite warm. And then as that front lifts back to the north on Friday, that humidity will ratchet up another notch there. You can see the temperatures tomorrow, upper 80s to low 90s at the beaches, 90 to 93 back through the interior. Normal high this time of the year typically is about 88. If you're headed to the attractions tomorrow, stay hydrated, drink a lot of water, don't forget the sunblock and the shades. Heading into the weekend, late Saturday on into Sunday, you start to get a bit more active with those afternoon showers and storms marching right back in. Weekend planner looking like this. Hot Saturday, warm on Sunday, rain coverage at about 50 to 60%. Oh, by the way, quick reminder, hurricane season is now just 17 days out. Thankfully, though, out there in the tropical Atlantic, things are quiet. We are watching some of this Saharan dust, but for now, it is not going to impact us here in Central Florida. So as we take a look at that 7-day forecast, Thursday and Friday, good. Weekend storms set to return.
On the next Access Hollywood, Selena Gomez on the moment she knew Benny Blanco was the one, and Ariana, Cynthia inside their Wicked auditions. Then Ethan Hawke on his Taylor Swift cameo. Next Access Hollywood.
NASA honored 3 storytellers today for their work telling America's space story. It's all part of one of their press site's greatest traditions to say thank you to journalists, photographers, and broadcasters helping to cover the space industry since the 60s.
And one of this year's inductees happens to be a familiar face to all of us here at WESH 2.
They didn't do it for the recognition, but their years of service telling America's space story ends with their names written in brass. A thank you and shining example for all who come here after, witnessing history.
2, 1, ignition, and liftoff.
Honored today, photographer Michael R. Brown, archivist Maggie Persinger, and retired WESH 2 space reporter Dan Billow.
They'll always be the Apollo 11 astronauts. It's an unbreakable bond that these three share.
WESH 2 viewers know the name Dan Billow. Starting in 1987, Dan covered every moment of NASA, triumph,
and liftoff of Space Shuttle Columbia,
and tragedy.
That is hauntingly reminiscent of the Challenger disaster. That is something that is falling out of the sky, breaking up into pieces and burning.
Earning numerous awards along the way, now forever part of the community of NASA journalists honored. Kennedy Space Center Associate Director of Management Bert Summerfield says the Chronicler's ceremony is a chance to extend their deepest thank you to those who go above and beyond to tell their story to the world. Today's inductees join the 82 others hanging proudly inside the NASA press room, setting the standard for the next generation.
Retired in 2021, Dan and his wife live in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Georgia. We just want to say congratulations to all. It is very well deserved.
That is awesome. Congrats. All right, SeaWorld Orlando is giving free admission to veterans because of Memorial Day. Those eligible can register by May 19th for complimentary single-day tickets for themselves and 3 others. The tickets must be redeemed by July 7th. And a reminder, active duty military personnel and their guests can enjoy one-day complimentary admission all year long as part of the Waves of Honor program. We have several stories that we're working on for WESH 2 News at 11.
WESH 2 Summer Knowles is joining us now in studio with a preview. Hey, Summer.
Hey guys, a local community is gathering for a vigil tonight in memory of the 8 people killed in a bus crash in Marion County. The emotional moments from tonight's memorial. Plus, we are staying on top of a developing story out of Orange County where 2 people are now safe tonight after being carjacked. We have video of the moment multiple police officers and deputies caught up to the suspects with their guns drawn.
That'll do it for us for now. Join us again at 10 on CW18 and 11 o'clock right here on WESH 2.
The news is always on at WESH.com or the WESH 2 News mobile app. Have a great night.
Thank you for watching WESH 2 News. Get caught up on local news, originals, and more. Download the Very Local app and stream for free on Amazon Fire TV, Roku, iOS, and Android mobile devices.